Happy New Year, Facebook friends and family. It has been one heck of a year. 2016 can kiss it as far as I'm concerned. I'm really excited to ring in 2017 in a big way. Hi Laura, this past holiday season, I was really sick, so I haven't been doing many makeup tutorials. I still have a little bit of a cold left, so I will be getting better every day and coming at you with a lot of fun things. We're going to talk this year about how to fall in love with your makeup routine again, how to save time, how to make it efficient, how to make it comfortable, how to make it something that you enjoy doing instead of something that just whips you and you just want to get over with. So, woo, look at all y'all just coming out of nowhere. Hi Julie, hi Christy, hi Sandy. So I asked y'all earlier to vote on a 2017 makeup trend, and y'all overwhelmingly voted for the dewy, naked, glowing look. And I'm going to explain a little bit about how that's different from the past sort of ethereal look that has been popular in the past. So now they're taking it a step further, and the collective they, I don't exactly know who that is, but I'm sure it's New York Fashion Week people and the designers who put models out on the runway wearing crap that we will never actually wear and doing their makeup and hair in ways that we will never actually do. But it's inspirational and it's fun, and it should clue us into just kind of what's happening and encourage you to step out of your box a little bit and try new things. So I'm going to talk about several of the trends, and then we're going to get into this dewy look. Sorry, I don't want to call it a dewy look. I think the dewy look was several years ago. This is the glowing naked look. So I need to train my brain to say that. When you do bridal makeup, you talk about a dewy, ethereal look all the time, but this is a glowing naked skin. So totally different. So the glowing naked skin has serious highlighting, like where light is literally bouncing off of the apex of the curve on several different points on the face. Not every curve in the face, because that would be too much. But so here's the thing. Everywhere that there's a curve in the world, there is the top of the curve. The highest point is called the apex, and light bounces off of that. And that is kind of the secret to a lot of makeup techniques. It's also the secret to a lot of fashion and a lot of television magic. And probably even magicians. I'm not a magician, but I would imagine that they use that. I guess it's not science. It is science, but it's whatever the science of light bouncing around. Somebody, come on, some of you smarty pants, tell me what that is. Heather, I bet you know. Okay, so anyway, that is taken to a whole new level with this trend. If you look up on Pinterest or in any magazines, you'll see this glowing kind of nude look. It doesn't mean they don't have any eye makeup on, but it's minimal, and then sometimes it's a dark lip or sometimes it's a nude lip. So it could be anything. So we're going to do that today. But some of the other trends that I wanted to just talk about really quickly are the use of glitter in the eyebrows, under the eyes, kind of all over, but in a much more intense way, in a very obvious way. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I like glitter on antlers and curtains and things like that, but I'm just not sure how I feel about it. But I think I'm going to push myself and we're going to try that eventually. The dark lip is very popular and it's gone black for 2017. So going as super dark and matte as you can. Lip gloss is kind of out of style. It doesn't mean that it doesn't look great and that you shouldn't wear it. That is not what I'm saying. It just means that that is not the look that fashion forward people are going for. So take that and do with it whatever the hell you want. Okay, so what were some of the other ones? Oh, the pop of color. So there's this like crazy, and I don't mean like, you know, a little hint of color. I mean like a marker of color and the only color on your eyes going from here and straight across. I'm seeing a lot of that in like a really bold, sorry, family just got home from basketball and they're noisy. Hey Jamie, hi Christy, hi Honor, Destiny, Charlotte, hello. Okay, so we're gonna get started. We'll talk about some of those other trends, but I'd love to hear your comments if there's any of those trends that you would never try, that you're kind of curious about. Please post and let me know what you think about it. I try not to get on the trend wagon too much, but it is Honor. Oh, I love your face. And I want you to paint me a rooster. Can you do that? Okay, hi Melissa. I'm going to start with the primer spray because last year in 2016 I sucked at remembering to put on the primer spray, and this year I'm bound and determined to go through this whole bottle before March. Okay, primer spray does not taste good. Don't eat this. Ugh. It has a lot of vitamins in it. It's really good for your skin. It's kind of prepping your skin to make sure that it's not too dry, too crusty, too oily, so that it's just kind of balanced in order to receive the makeup. But we're actually not going to put on a full face of foundation this time because this is a glowing naked look. But naked over 40 is not happening. So I'm going to modify it a little bit. I'm going to use concealer number 2. You guys may have actually never seen me use this concealer. It is the only other one besides number 6, which I use for contouring, and 0, which I use for all highlighting, and which is the one that I've sold to all of you guys, except you, Megan. You need to order. So this one is a little bit darker, but it's a great color and it's still going to give me some highlight, and it's going to clean up under my eyes. And once that area gets cleaned up under here, really the whole rest of your face kind of looks pretty cleaned up also. You need your fingers to warm up the wax. This is a wax-based product. It's got intense coverage, but it doesn't have to have intense coverage. You can put it on very lightly. It just takes finesse to use these products and to use them well, which is why I do these videos, because you may not like this stuff if you didn't really know how to use it, and it does take a little bit of a learning curve. So I'm going to start at the tear duct and come right down here. You can see this color is got a little bit more of a yellow base to it than the almost white one that I usually use. This is not what you should be doing with concealer or highlighter under your eyes. It should be coming all the way down, and this whole area of your face should be the same color as this area of your face, okay? That is how you create the optical illusion that there is nothing set back right here, and that this is not firmer than this, that it's all flush and perfect, just like if you were just born. Okay, so that was layer number 1. I'm gonna go with layer number 2 because right here is still a little bit more transparent than it is right here. I've got really good coverage here, but then here I kind of ran out of product. So I'm gonna focus the second layer right here. When you're putting makeup on makeup, your touch should be a little bit lighter. When you're putting makeup on skin, it can be a little more firm. I gotta get into little creases right here. just to make sure. There tends to be a lot of redness that builds up right there for most people. I'm going to pull this out. It's a pat and a pull motion. And you should be able to tell by the movement of my face how much pressure I'm applying. Hey, Trisha, we got to get together soon. I hope your holiday was awesome. I'm going to go right on the top of my nose and blend that in really well because we're not wearing full foundation. So I want to make sure that I don't have too much redness there. But remember, this is a glowing naked look. So I can spot cover my two little spots that I have here. This one is so close to gone. If I want to build up here, I can. But I'm going to end up putting bronzer and blush and other products right here. And so it's all going to blend in. You don't need to spend a whole lot of time, and you don't want to do your whole face. You just kind of want to get it blended to the point where you're happy that it looks nice and clean under the eyes. And do a little bit on my chin just to take out some of that redness. All right, so forehead nice and clean, and I'm wearing my hair back for this because it's a naked look, and so we want to kind of just show off as much of your face as we can. Hi, Rachel. I hope you had a great holiday. It had to be better than mine, y'all. I couldn't even... Our kids got ponies for Christmas. Like, Santa brought 2 ponies, and I couldn't even be there for the reveal. I couldn't get out of bed. It was awful. Okay, so no foundation. This is very difficult for me because I just want to go straight for it. I'm going to go and skip to the palette that has my number 6 glowing blush. Okay, that is this one right here. It doesn't have a lot of color to it. It's just a sheen. And this is by no means going to give us all of the glow that we need. This would be more of the dewy look that has been popular in the past. But again, this is a whole new trend and we're going nuts with it. So I'm going to use my tapered brush. Try to get the hair off of it. And I'm going to come in here, just a little bit of friction back and forth. And I'm going to set this with powder. Instead of setting it with the matte powder that I usually use, I'm going to do my whole face with this glowing powder. And the glowing, what that is doing is diffusing light. So it may even look to you like I just put on a thin layer of foundation. And that's kind of the point. It throws light on a topical level that doesn't allow someone else's eyes to really go any deeper than that. So it's a facade, it's a mask, but it's very, very effective. It's a great look for women over 40. Because makeup is always going to enhance fine lines. There's no way around it. It can cover color issues so well that it refocuses your attention to the eyes and people don't notice the fine lines. And that is really the magic of makeup. But some women, if you want your skin to be kind of the highlights, not everyone is focused on the eyes. Some people really want to show off their skin. Then this is a great option because you're not introducing a product that's going to highlight your fine lines. So we're glowing. No, we're dewy. We're not glowing yet. Okay, so bring that down onto the chest a little bit. How about we just cover it up and not even worry about that? That's just too much work. Sorry, crazy dogs. If I put them out of here, they bark like crazy to get in here. If I, sorry, weird message. If I leave them in here, they bark when somebody passes by or another dog barks. So I can't win for losing. All right, now I'm going to find my bronzer. And this should be much easier for y'all because you don't have palette after palette after palette. You should just have one or two. Stop it. Okay, so our perfect bronzer is already a little bit of a dewy, glowing product, so it's going to be perfect for kind of contouring a little bit. And we do, you don't have to call it contouring if you don't want to, but we are going to shade the face in the areas that we don't want light popping off. So right under the cheekbone, this by proxy is going to make your cheekbone look like it's higher up because this looks lower. There's already a natural mark right here. It's a shadow, it's not an actual mark, but you can see that very clearly. And then we're just making it a little bit more obvious by putting a darker shade underneath. The lip hangs over, creating a shadow right here. So if we enhance that, we get a poutier lip. Or you just look like you've been drinking chocolate milk and spilling it all over your chin. It depends how good you are at this. I'm pretty good at it. All right, forehead, hairline, because we really want the light to come off from this area. We don't really need it coming off of here. And the temple. And then the sides of the nose. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze my brush. You can see how just I have a little bit of product on there. And I'm gonna come down the side of the nose, but also on top of the nose. Leaving a white stripe right down the middle. And then I'm gonna do the tip. Now I've got this, you see this, there's almost a circle right here. This is, I think they're calling this a strobe now, or strobing. And we're gonna highlight that even more when we get to the heavy duty glowing part of this tutorial. So, okay. We're very dewy. We are not yet glowing, but we're gonna stop there and do eyes, and then we're gonna go back in and put the icing on the proverbial cake. All right, so my brow color, I put all of my shadows into one palette, and let me tell you, this makes me so incredibly happy. I don't know, it's kind of like a Barbie collection. When you put them all together and you see them all together, you love them even more. Maybe that's how collections get started, I guess so. I've never really been a collector except of makeup. Okay, so brow tamer brush, which is not immediately available, so I'm going to use this liner brush. And my brows are very light. The goal is to, I'm going to do this without product first, is you're going to start here at the very bottom and go straight out to the point, which should be at the outside of the iris. And then it's going to angle down. If you have peach fuzz here, you may not have dark brow hairs, but if you have a lot of peach fuzz here, you need to get yourself a flamingo razor and take off that peach fuzz, because it's going to hold onto the product in a different way than the rest of your face, and it's going to reflect light differently. This is not true just for this look, but really for all makeup looks. It's the one thing that I see, even on some professional artists, it's sometimes hard for us to judge ourselves and to see ourselves the way we see other people. You know, a cobbler's children have no shoes. But the peach fuzz here and here, and especially in this area here, especially for blondes, because we tend to think nobody can see it. And we can't, because we're not looking at our profile. But when you turn, those hairs reflect light, and they prevent the product from laying on your skin. Just makes a big difference. If you do it, you'll be like, holy crap, why didn't anybody ever tell me this before? This makes a huge difference. Those flamingo razors are like $5. You cannot hurt yourself with them. You do not need to be a licensed esthetician to use a flamingo razor. I use them on everything, including my kids. Georgie has a lot of hair on her legs. Okay, I'm using number 40. Tap, tap. straight out, turn, and down. And then I'm going to take that and push it up. And this takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. This is not something you can do super quickly. If you need to do this super quickly, I would recommend just using a pencil. And then we're going to take, oh, that's why I needed the brow brush. I don't know where it is, so we're going to skip that step. All right, over here and up and down. Christy, you should get the razor on Amazon. Don't get it at Sally Beauty Supply. They're not quite the same. The ones they sell on Amazon are $5 for a package of 3. And they have on the very tip of them a little part of a razor so that you can get into really hard to reach areas and just kind of get like one hair without having to pluck. And so y'all, this is the best secret I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If your husband is a total freaking ninny about having his ear hair plucked or his nose hairs plucked or that one mustache hair that's growing into his nose or something like that, I'm just saying, I mean, mine doesn't, you know, he's perfect. But those razors are awesome because it doesn't hurt. It feels a little bit scratchy, but it doesn't feel anything like plucking, and so they're much more tolerant to it. So get after it. You could also write your name in your dog's side or your horse. All right, so I cheated a little bit. I didn't give myself quite enough length here. And I'm gonna just push this up. If you make a mistake, that's okay. That's what concealer is for. Okay, good enough. This is a naked look. All right. Now we are going to highlight a little bit of the, oh, see y'all, I wasn't supposed to turn. I told myself don't turn because then you're gonna see my little hairs sticking out. This is a, this is one of those hairdos that only looks good from one angle only. Okay, I'm going to take this from our Lottie palette, our Dream On palette. I don't know the name of the color, and it doesn't matter because I don't think it's available anymore. But don't despair. You can go to Ulta and get Stila. That's the brand name, and the color name is Kitten. And it's this. It's not the same, but it's the same. But it's not the same. It's the same. Okay. Straight in here. Now we're glowing. All right, this area, I'm not even on my eye. Okay, this is my nose. My nose right there. A little bit more over here. We're just gonna roll it around a little bit underneath the tear duct. Okay. And now I'm gonna sweep some right over the lid. Y'all liking this? I'm seeing some little hearts. 2017 means y'all have apparently taken a Facebook Live class and learned how to hit the little hearts. Hi, Marcy. Oh, we need to do a, wait, what did you put it in? What color? Oh, I don't know the name of this color. It's in one of our palettes that's going to be discontinued. But Stila, the color is Kitten, and it's available at Ulta. Okay, I'm going to layer this up. You want to make sure you have as much shine on this eye as you do on the other eye. Sometimes the shimmer elements in the shadow are not evenly distributed, and so you may just need to layer it on. And remember, when you're layering makeup on makeup, it's a softer touch than when you're putting it on skin. You can press a little harder when you're putting it on your skin. Okay, so we got a little bit of shimmer there. And now I want a matte color just right below the brows. This is really more for the benefit of my brows than anything else. It's just gonna make them look cleaner. You see this little, there's a little bit of a shadow right there. And now that we've cleaned that up, it looks so much more awake, because this is actually my droopy eyelid, but right now you can clearly see this one looks more va-va-voom and this one looks more meh. Okay, a little bit more of that, and we're only putting it right here. This shadow is number 41. You can only get it from me. Don't even ask me for some other brand because it doesn't exist. Okay. So that got rid of that shadow and makes my brow now look like I've had the Botox that I clearly need. All right. So that is gonna, no, we're gonna do a little bit of a crease action. I'm gonna take this kind of big fat brush. I'm telling y'all, you need to buy the brush set. I use every single brush, and you will too. It's like going from a hammer to a screwdriver to a drill. Like you're working and you're working so hard, and then all of a sudden somebody gives you a power tool, and it just glides on, and it's amazing. And you need to have that in your life because otherwise putting on makeup just sucks. Crease color. Let's do this little, wait, let me think about the lip color I'm gonna do, and then I'll decide. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, this is that kind of, I call it terracotta. It has a name. I don't know what it is. Erin, do you know the name of this one? I think it's number 37. And we're just gonna go kind of high on the crease and all the way over to the nose. And a little bit past, I wanna bring a kind of this motion, okay? But I don't want you to make this motion as you're applying it. The brush is pretty much empty right now. So we're kind of going like this, except we wanna scrub it in here, then dip down here, then tip up here. Kind of follow that thing, but as if you are sketching it, not painting it. Does that make sense? All right, same thing on the other side. Start in the middle, make the little rounded hump. Yes, Charlotte is right. Oh, Coral of the Story. That's so cute. I love puns. Okay, so we're coming all the way to the nose. When you're using a safe color like this, it's really okay to make mistakes. Now that my brush is pretty much clean, I can start kind of sweeping it. All right, so that's about as nude as I'm willing to go. I still feel like eyelids need a little bit of shaping and dimension, especially at my age. They start to get pigmented and they're just not sexy anymore. Now we're gonna take that same Coral of the Story. Gosh, I love that. Blush Hour is very similar. Yeah, I actually took one of them out because I'm like, I don't really even know the difference between these two. I think I kept the darker one. All right, so now I'm using brush number 11. And I'm gonna bring it way down low on the waterline, over the lashes, and just keep blending. This is a very neutral flesh color, and so you can't really screw this up. You're not gonna look like a raccoon, and if you do, just wipe it off with a brush. It's probably not just gonna wipe off with your fingers, but okay, so here's what it looks like. I'm just going dab, dab on the waterline. Can't really talk while I'm doing this. Don't forget this area. Huge mistake. You guys tend to start way over here at your first eyelash and you completely neglect this area. You're cheating your eye out of like a 1/4 inch of real estate. And way down low. I just keep working it down. Hi Chelsea, hi Brittany. Hi Kim. Yay Kim. Gosh girl, was it cold up there? It probably still is. Was it? Like Christmas is over and so it's not going to be cold anymore? All right, so now my eyes have a little bit of dimension. There we go. We are doing a trend for 2017 called, I'm making this up, I don't really know what it's called, but we're calling it the Naked Glowing Face. Okay. Let's go ahead and do mascara first, because I want to save the big pa-pow for the very end. There is one risk in doing the mascara now, and that is that our pa-pow is going to stick to the mascara and take away from the blackness of it. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. It's all for the fun of reality TV, right? Okay. So, the Elizabeth method is tips first. And I'm totally loving this, Elizabeth. I'm so glad that you shared this. I've never done it this way, but y'all, my lashes, I'm just liking them more. Tips first. Maybe some of y'all have been doing this forever. You should be sitting back when you do this with a handheld mirror like this, but that does not work for tutorial purposes. So do as I say, not as I do. All right, now I'm going to go back and start at the base and wiggle and stretch it out to the middle, wiggle and stretch it out, kind of making this motion but a smaller and faster version of it. Of course you're not doing it this way, Christy Hutchins. I have always told everybody to do it from the base first, and I keep trying to kind of, sorry, I just spit, that's great. I keep trying to explain to myself like why it works, but I don't really feel like I have an answer yet. Okay, now whole new set for the other side. So this is a no liner look, and we're doing a lot of no liner looks this year. Tips first, find those little babies. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're finding your lashes and you're kind of like marking them. And then we go back from the bottom, stretch it out. So I focus on the lashes in 3 areas: the outside lashes, the middle, and then the inside, which are the scariest. There's always that terrifying thought that you're going to smack into your nose with your brush. And when that happens, and it will, especially if you're leaning in like this, doing it instead of doing it like I told you to, let it dry. It's very difficult to leave it there because it's a terrible mark on your beautiful face. But if you let it dry, and then you take your concealer brush, which comes in our brush set, which you would have if you had our brush set. I have a little bit of concealer always in it, so if you get that mascara on there, you flick it toward the nose. So if it's here, you go this way. If it's here, you go this way. If it's here, you go always toward the nose, and it just pops right off because of the powders that you have on your face. It just kind of dries on top. Now when you go and start rubbing it when it's wet, it makes a big huge mess. Okay, I do that to people all the time when I'm doing them for their wedding, and I have to try not to make that oh shit face. So I just have to like keep going and la-di-da-di-da. Oh, you look amazing. And there's this big like black mark. And then at the very end, I pick it off and they never even knew. Okay. Blush. Not sure why I didn't do this earlier. Okay. Since I used that Coral of the Story, do Tuesday other side the old way. Oh yeah, I should have done the old, yeah. I'm not sure that it's a big enough difference that you would be able to see it, but I can tell the difference. Hey, Karen Holloway, we need to get together, girl. I'm going to be in the Dallas area on January 11th. I would love to come to your house and show you all this stuff, because you've got to be out of the stuff that I sold you years ago. Okay, Coral of the Story, and number 4. Right on the cheeks. We're going to do a light blush because the glow is all about the glow. And we don't want the blush to interfere. Sweet holy Moses, one of my dogs stinks. Okay. And now, lips. I am going to do a liner first, because I just kind of have to have liner because it helps me fudge my lips in a way that the lipstick and lip glosses don't. So this stuff is kind of thick and pasty, even though you're not putting it on thick. And so it's going to build up your vermilion border, and it's going to also sort of act as a ridge filler. There are so many reasons why a lip liner is incredibly helpful. The one reason you do not need it is to add any sort of color. It's really just a waxy border that allows you to give your lips a more defined look, and to be able to push that border just a little bit and give your lips more fullness. And with the matte trend in lips right now, you can really fudge a lot. With gloss, you can't get away with that or you look stupid. I think this is the light nude. The light nude or the dark nude, either one of them are awesome. I don't really have a use for the other ones that we sell. Sometimes I just smooth that out with my finger. It's the softest little touch, just making sure that the top edge of that wax in the pencil has smoothness to it, and it's not kind of ridgy and bumpy. Okay, so I'm going to use Mia. Mia is one of our Lottie colors. It's very close to creme brulee, but a little tiny bit more of a coral color. So in keeping with this Coral of the Story, I'm going to use this. And our lips are always going to look 1,000 times better when we do this with a lip brush. You can absolutely use this thing, but you must wipe it off first. It's way too much. You want a thin, dry layer, and then go over it again if you need to, but don't put it on all sloppy and thick at first. Hey, Megan McAllister. Long time, girl. So jealous of you living so close to my sweet, sweet Christy. Okay, I may have wiped off too much. I don't have any. I'm going over the liner. I am not staying on the inside of the liner. Going right over it because it's only there as a border filler. Can't really do a whole lot of talking when I do lips, y'all. Sorry. These are the long wearing colors that we have. And they really do last an unbelievably long time without being super dry. They're a little bit dry. I mean, they're definitely not chapstick. And you really can't put chapstick over them and then expect for them to last as long as they're supposed to. So you kind of need to trust in the longevity of this and leave your lips dry. Don't put anything moist on them beforehand. I've told brides this for years, that you really don't want your lips nice and yummy feeling if what you're going for is color on your lips all day long. It's just kind of one or the other. This is a great mix because it's not super drying. I think it feels great, and it keeps me from chewing on my lips and licking on my lips because I can kind of feel that it's there. Okay, so now we're gonna glow. Hi, Amanda. I miss you in Dallas too. I wish more of y'all lived. I wish anyone lived here, really. Anyone. Yeah. There's nobody here. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna go back to the Stila color that I told you about, Kitten. And now we're going to highlight with this because they don't make a highlighter. I'm gonna use a fatter brush. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna clean it off, make sure that there's no residual color in there. I keep a towel on my vanity so that I've always got something to absorb extra product on. And you don't want to use anything wet to clean your brushes because then they have to dry, and then what goes on is wet looking and not the right look for what we're usually doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go in, and the first thing I'm gonna do is go right down the center of my nose. You see that sheen? Okay, I'm going to add a tiny bit more right here. All right, and I'm gonna take a big dip out of it. I mean, like, just kind of lay it in there, and I'm gonna go right here. And then pull that down a little bit. Whoa, we're glowing now, folks. Need to be sure to blend it in so that it does not look like a stripe. It may not look like a stripe to you, but if you don't check yourself out in the mirror, you won't realize it, and everybody else, you'll look like that, what's her name, Latiny? That girl that does those makeup tutorials where she's kind of making fun of people like me. You're gonna do your Cupid's bow. And then we're gonna do a little bit on the forehead. Kind of rub it in. You see that sheen. And then I am going to take this. I'm not gonna put any glow here, but I am going to highlight for this look right there using my foundation brush, because it makes a nice straight line. And I'm gonna cut a line right here. This is not a shimmery product, this is a matte product. But this is gonna help further the contoured look without adding what looks like more makeup. You could do this with baby powder or any other translucent or really light colored powder that you have. You want to be careful though not to use that's giving me just a little bit more of a cut cheek look. Okay, and I'm gonna pull a little bit more. What do y'all think? Glow, glow, glow! Right onto my cheeks, over the blush. You can always dim this down. You shouldn't be afraid to try this. You can always just take a dry sponge, like our blender full or something, and just kind of, you know, buff it out. There's really nothing to be afraid of it. Or you could just do your makeup at 9 o'clock at night and then take it all off and go to bed. Okay, tiny bit on the chin. There we go. Now that is some glow. Not sure how I feel about it. I don't know that it's my best look, but it is fun, and the finishing touch should definitely be the primer spray. Let me tell you a little bit about what this does. So I don't know that I can fully explain why it does this, but it's going to make, thank you girls, y'all are sweet. It's going to make your face look more real. So after you've put kind of powders and different dry products all over your face in several different layers all over your face, things can get a little bit just sort of plastic looking. And this is going to not only sort of set everything so that it doesn't fall into little creases and cause transfer and things like that, but it's also just going to make you look a little bit fresher and dewier, and so that's perfect for this look because we're glowing. I'm not sure that the subtlety of it will be evident in this video, but I have to do it because, yeah, I can see, I don't know, y'all can see in the flat areas where I didn't add that it looks really fresh. It just makes you look really fresh. So yeah, these two sprays, they are freaking amazing. They're made by a company called Skindinavia, and they're used by pro artists on set all the time, especially for people who need to look like they're not wearing makeup, because we all know they have to, because they're not perfect, but these are some of the tools that they have at their disposal and that you now have at your disposal if you know how to use it. So one of them is 28 and one of them is 32. So it's 60 bucks for the two of them, but I promise they'll be a game changer for your makeup. If you're someone who has to touch up your makeup throughout the day, it's definitely worth it. Although I would recommend that you buy the rest of the LimeLight makeup first and see if that lasts longer, and then add this on if you're not getting the longevity that you need. Some people just sweat more, or their faces kind of eat makeup more depending on how oily your skin is, and you need these products. For people like me who have pretty dry skin and my makeup tends to stay put, it just makes it last that much longer and it makes it look fresher. So okay, well, that's all I have. Happy New Year. I hope y'all are enjoying your glowing look. Probably gonna go in the bathroom and look like a strobe light because everything is so much more dramatic in my bathroom than it is in when I'm using my phone as the mirror. So next trend, I want to hear from you guys. What would y'all like to see? Black lips, bold eye color, glitter? Let me know because I'm up for anything. So happy New Year, and we'll see y'all soon. Thanks for chiming in.